Yeah, my name is Baptiste Paul, and I am the author of several books for children. And one of the things that I usually say is that I write books that move you physically and mentally. Books to make you think about the world, the planet, about play, the environment, just the whole spectrum of books that I write.
I love it. So, what got you into it? What's your inspiration?
You know, that's a really interesting question. I was inspired to write books for children because when I was a kid growing up on the island of St. Lucia, the books that I read did not have people who looked like me, or my experiences were not represented at all. And you know what? I lived in this world. I am a human being and I function in this world. And I couldn't get my experiences in those books. Like my first book, The Field. This book is about play and being outside in nature and playing soccer or football, as we call it. And I just couldn't get that, and the kids who grew up did not see themselves. And I did a school visit with a school in St. Lucia, and one kid cried in the end of my presentation. And he said to me, "This is the first time in my life that I have seen the Creole words that I speak every day and what I do play represented in a book." And he said when he grows up, he wants to be an author just like me. That was really powerful. Because those kids like me, we did not have an author who ever came to our school. We didn't even know what the word author was. And, I grew up and I did not see that. And then I felt empowered. And I could empower another child to be an author. It was just magical. When I wrote this book was all written all in English. And it did not make sense. Although the story was a good story, something was missing. That aha moment, that magical moment was missing. I only got that moment one day when I was watching my children run outside and play in the rain and the mud. And I just smiled when I watched them. And it just clicked in my head. That was what was missing. I needed to introduce my language. Because when I saw them chasing each other and splashing, I could hear my friends, Curtis and Moses, calling my name, and they're saying, "Baptiste, Vini, Anu Ale, Anu Jouer." And that's all I heard, and I knew at that moment what the story needed. I grabbed my laptop and I ran to my room and I shut the door. And I started adding the Creole words. And when I was done, like I said, the magic happened. I closed my eyes and I could see little me running and moving across the pages of the book. And I knew the story was done at that point.
Wow. So, where can people find you? Where can people find the book?
People can find the books like wherever books are sold. And I'm a big fan of recommending indie bookstore. Just do a search online and find the local one in your area. And you can go online and get the books any way you want. And this is one of my newest ones. It's not even out yet in the world. This one is called Climb On. And this is about celebration of Black joy in nature. Black people going outside and celebrating and reclaiming that space, that hiking space, make ourselves visible. And it's a story about a dad and a daughter on a hiking trip up a mountain. And I would say to all my Black fans, all the Black kids out there, go out, explore, enjoy nature. It's yours. It's your space. Reclaim that.
Love it. Why are books magic to you?
Oh, you can travel the world. You can go to places you've never been before. They can tell you stories. They can help you understand cultures, other people. They can build empathy. And they can teach love. So books are just so magical in that sense. Books can also teach you about topics like peace. And right now in our world, we need it. And in this book, we have a dove throughout the entire book that flew from one story to the next to the next. And right now, all I want to do is take that dove and just spread it across the ocean to the people in Ukraine right now through what they're going through. And it's a simple message, but it's one of the hard things to accomplish, peace. And I hope the people of Ukraine can get peace very soon.
I love it. So, I'm just curious, my own self. What's your creative process? Do you
yes.
write every day? Or?
My creative process starts with like we talk about, it's like an idea. And then you think about it for a little while. And I'm a big fan of, like I said, hiking nature. So while I have the idea, I'm out in nature taking a walk. And I'm not really thinking about the story, but the story is evolving in my head as I am walking. And most times I go barefoot because I want to recharge and connect with nature when I'm out in the backyard walking in the woods. And once I have something to think about or write about, I will write it down with pencil and paper. Everything gets down on pencil and paper first before I even type it on the computer. And then the process involves like rewriting something over and over and over again. Sometimes try it in rhyme, try it in prose, and try to tell a story, the different narrative act and different main characters, and try to bring people in. So I'm always editing over and over again until I have something before I show it to anybody. Before I show that story to anybody, I would probably have gone through it at least 50 times. And then I have a group, a critic group that I send what my stories to. And my wife, Miranda Paul, is also, she's also an author, and she's an agent as well. And I read my stories to her, and I get more feedback, and I go back and I start plugging away. So it's a constant process of rewriting to capture the story, to tell the story the right way.
Is there a format for this age group in terms of how many pages it has to be? Or
Yes. Usually there are. Most picture books are between 32 pages and 40 pages, just the spread in the book, yes. 32 to 40.
So how long does it take you to come up with the idea and finish the book?
Oh, an idea like this, the field. There are 151 words in this book. This is a 4-year process.
Wow.
4-year process. This one over here, I Am Farmer. This is about a story about a young man from Cameroon who's saving tens of thousands of people's lives through access to safe, clean drinking water and also organic, sustainable farming. And he, from the time I met him to publishing this story, was over 7 years in the process. Yeah, so it all takes time to write the story. This one with my daughter, well, think about my daughter, the dad and the daughter's journey. This, I would say, 7-year process as well. So it takes time to craft those stories.
Wow, and get the illustrations together and all.
Yes, and because I don't choose the illustrator, the publisher chooses the illustrator, but I've been very lucky and fortunate to, at least because the stories are so unique to me and my experiences, that they value my feedback and my opinion in the stories.
Any advice for young writers?
Keep writing, be yourself, make sure you capture those moments, and keep a journal, because those things you keep in a journal will be your New York Times best-selling book in the future. And go out, enjoy nature, celebrate, and reclaim those spaces out there.
Baptiste Paul, thank you for your time.
Much appreciated. Thank you.
All right.